They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tyre, buddy.
JK Smart Tyre, the tyre with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tyre.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform, I will outrank, I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
The Lux Life. The lip on the glass. The journeys you make. The roads you take. Beyond the rest. Above the best. Float above. Levitas Ultra from JK Tyre, made for dream machines.
Hello, Namaskar, Khushamdeed, Sat Sri Akal. This is the curtain-raising opening call for a tantalizing 2 months of intense competition and camaraderie, for a joyful journey of knowledge and wit, and for the excruciating pain and exhilarating pleasure of near misses and blind guesses. Welcome to JK Tyre Ranger presents the Hindu Business Line Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2023 in association with BSE. This is one of India's premier corporate quiz championship in its seismically significant 20th edition. And I am your quizmaster Ajay Punya, mighty proud in bringing this quiz to you virtually. In its preliminary rounds that lasted a fortnight, over 6,000 corporate executives, business professionals, B-school students, and MBA aspirants participated from all across the country. We've gathered here today on this Sunday evening in our first of 6 regional rounds for participants from the Bengaluru region. I wouldn't be completely honest if I said it would be easy like Sunday evening, because it will not be. And why should it be? You're all aware the pyramid of quantity is thinner at the top, but the pyramid of quality is inverse. They have their work cut out for them, as only the best qualifies ahead to the national final at the BSc in Mumbai. And once there, they can lay their hands on the most coveted intellectual title and take home prize money worth rupees 1.5 lakhs. There's first prize of rupees 75,000, second prize of rupees 50,000, and third prize of rupees 25,000. The fight for the prizes is expected, but you feel it will be a tough one. But who's fighting for them? First up is Mr. Consistent number 1 from Bengaluru, a regular in Cerebration's Bengaluru regional final, 6th in 2021, 3rd in 2022. So his graph is looking good to go up and to the right. He is Setu Madhavan from Capgemini. Number 2 in the order is our Mr. Consistent number 2 from Bengaluru. Will he be third time lucky? It's Ravi Shankar Saha, also from Capgemini. And now for some fresh challengers to Mr. Consistence. Next on the roster is the only college student for today. This is Swastika Devadiga from NMAM Institute of Technology. As number 4 is Siddharth Mishra from IDFC First Bank. Next up is our penultimate participant is Algarasamy AP from Toyota Financial Services.
Hi.
And finally, completing the lineup, the 6th name on the list is Venkatesh Srinivasan from Nexus Consulting.
Hi guys.
Right, that's the 6-member strong lineup in the Bengaluru regional round. But before we get into some high-intensity quizzing, it would be nice to hear some words of encouragement from Mr. Raghuveer Srinivasan, editor, BusinessLine. Sir, please.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 20th edition of the Hindu BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz. This is a prestigious corporate quiz championship which attracts executives from companies, business professionals, MBA aspirants, and students from India's leading B schools. This is the 20th edition of the quiz, and it has established a name for itself in the Indian quiz calendar, attracting quiz buffs of the highest caliber. Just to give you a quick brief on how this works, participants will be asked to answer 20 questions to qualify for the regional round, and the top 6 contestants from each city will compete in the virtual regional finals. The final, of course, will be an in-person event. It'll be in Mumbai, and it's going to be on the 29th of October. And the regional final winners from 6 cities will fight it out for the coveted title of Cerebration Quiz winner. The winners will all take home prize money of 1.5 lakhs. The first prize is 75,000, second prize of 50,000, and the third prize is 25,000. The Cerebration Corporate Quiz this year is sponsored by JK Tyre Ranger Series in association with the Bombay Stock Exchange, and associate partners are State Bank of India, Grayon Cosmetics, and Parker Pens. Our partner for television is NewsX. So without much ado, let me call opening for this year's Cerebration Quiz. Wish you all the best as you compete for one of the most prestigious titles in the Indian quizzing calendar, and may the best person win. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would request the company of Sri Sundaraman Ramamurthy, MD BSc, to address the gathering.
BSc is happy to note that Hindu BusinessLine is conducting the 20th edition of BusinessLine Cerebration Quiz 2023, which draws talented business professionals, corporate executives, MBA aspirants, and B school students. We are glad to be associated with this. In our continuous efforts to promote awareness of financial markets and corporate India, we are proud to host the grand finale at BSE. I wish all the best to the regional winners from 6 cities of Mumbai, New Delhi, Hyderabad, Kochi, Chennai and Bengaluru. May the best flourish.
Thank you, sir. So this right now is the time when we appreciate the faith instilled by our partners who helped us put together BusinessLine Cerebration 2023. Its presenting partner, JK Tyre. It's brought to you in association with BSE, associate partners, SBI, Grey On and Parker Pen by Luxor Group and TV partner, NewsX. Thank you to each and every one of you. All right, then, participants, the stakes are meaty, the competitors are hungry, and we're all set to serve the full meal of 4 not rounds, but overs. This is, after all, the cricket season, and quite honestly, when is it not? But this time's the big one, and India is hosting it. So inspired by that, we'll play a game of 4 overs, including a super over at the end. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves and get straight to over number 1. It's called Power Play. In this over, I will be asking 6 questions, all of them on the buzzer, and each question will have 3 clues. You'll have 10 seconds of time after the 3rd clue. The first couple of clues, I will quickly move on if I feel that nobody's really pressing the buzzer. I will move on to the subsequent clue in the interest of whoever would like to hit the buzzer. There's only 1 buzzer per participant per question. So across the 3 clues in a question, you can only press the buzzer once. You don't get a chance to keep pressing the buzzer if you get it wrong in earlier clues. Points. If you answer on the first clue, you get 15. On the second clue, you get 12. And on the third clue, you get 8. There's a flat -5 for a wrong answer on the buzzer, whether it's the first clue, the second clue, or the third. I hope that's clear. Good luck, participants. 6 questions in all, 3 clues to every question. Hit the buzzer earlier than the others and unmute yourself and give the answer only after I take your name. Do not jump the gun. Do not answer before I take your name and before you see the buzzing light illuminated around yourself. All right, so good luck, everyone. Here's the first question of our first of 6 regional rounds here at Bengaluru. Your first question is, I'm looking for an exhaustive list of 6. This is 2 of them. On the buzzer is swastika.
I guess I buzzed too early. I'm going to go with Campa Cola.
That is incorrect. That's a -5 swastika. It's not Campa Cola. Anybody else interested? It's an exhaustive list of 6. I've showed you 2 of them. No one trying. So I'll move on to clue number 2. So now I've showed you 5 out of 6 in all. There's 1 more that will come in as the 3rd clue. Anyone interested? Looks like no one is, and I'm sure everybody would be interested on the final one. Here it is. Right, so this is an exhaustive list of 6. What list am I speaking of? How would you connect all these 6? Looks like nobody's interested on the buzzer. Oh, I thought this was fairly easy. Perhaps we're busy in this quiz and not watching the other event that's taking place simultaneously and not glued to our TV screens. The answer, if anybody wants to try and not
Asia Cup?
Sponsors of, yeah.
That is Super Cola, Afghanistan, Pepsi, Pakistan, My Second Teacher, Nepal, Daraz, Bangladesh, 1x Bat, Sri Lanka, and the other finalist, Dream 11, India. These are all 2023 Asia Cup team jersey sponsors, right? All 6 of them. As you can see, 1x Bat and Dream 11 right now, but the others were there as well. Right, so that's just a -5 to only one participant. That's swastika. Nobody else went for it. Perhaps thought that the first question would be very difficult, turned out to be fairly easy. Right, let's move on. Here's question number 2, first clue for all of you. I'm looking for a nickname that was adopted as a surname. A nickname he later adopted as a surname. He funded this fountain in Regent's Park in London as a token of thanks to the people of England for their protection of the Parsis in British India. No one trying. I'll move on to clue number 2. This Parsi family in Mumbai built a large fortune in the opium trade, and that's one of their mansions, as it says. On the buzzer is Alagar. Yes, Alagar?
Is it Sassoons?
Is incorrect. That's a -5 Alagar. I pass the question now to the next one, and that is swastika. Yes, swastika.
Wadia?
Is incorrect as well. That's a -5 swastika. I move on to the next person on the buzzer, and that is Ravi.
I will say Jamshedji Jijabhai.
Is incorrect as well. So that's a -5 to all three of you, Alagar, swastika, and Ravi. I move on to the final clue. Coveted Jahangir's family had so much wealth that even the British would come to them whenever they needed some monetary help. And the family would always lend to them. That's how they got the nickname. On the buzzer is Setu.
This is Ready Money.
This is Ready Money. Kovasti Jahangir Ready Money is absolutely correct. That's well done, Setu. That's a +8 to you, and you've benefited a little more than that because 3 other competitors have taken negatives on this. Right, so all 3 of them, Swastika, Alagar, and Ravi, -5 to each one of you. Setu, that's a +8. This question is powered by our partner, SPI. Right, well done to Setu, and I'm sure others will try to regain these points as we go along in this quiz. We'll move on to question number 3. Name the mascot. This 2-worded mascot's real name is Martin and has a Cockney accent. Voiced by Richard Stephen Howitz, Kelsey Grammer, Jake Wood, Dave Kelly, Andrew Randall, and others. 2-worded mascot. No one trying. Let's move on to clue number 2. Alliteratively named spokes lizard. On the buzzer is Siddharth.
Yeah. I'll say this is the Geico Gecko.
Geico Gecko. 2-worded, alliterative, spokes lizard, mascot of subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway, because that's how it got its name, because the name of the company was often mispronounced as the name of this creature. So they actually adopted the name as a mascot and they called it the Geico Gecko. Absolutely well done, Siddharth. You got it on the second clue, means you get 12 points. So 12 points there to Siddharth. That's well done. Right, let's move on to our next question. This is going to be question number 4. It's going to be a very wordy question, but fair bit of interesting trivia. I really felt, where could I remove the text? But I felt all of this was really nice to know. Okay, here's number 4. Which brand's identities? The original logo was never actually used on a public product. It was only used as the platform was being developed and designed. Originally, the logo used a dark and light cream color scheme with drops of dew covering it. No one trying. Moving on to clue 2. When the platform first launched in 2006, its official logo was designed by Linda Gavin and was created in only one day. On the buzzer is Ravi.
I will say Instagram.
That is incorrect. That's a -5, Ravi. I move on to the next one on the buzzer. That is Siddharth.
I'll say Twitter.
You'll say Twitter. Launched in 2006. Its recently defunct identity was created by Martin Grasser The design was built out of perfect circles with proportions between the bigger and smaller circles close to the golden ratio to make it more visually satisfying. Siddharth, what am I talking about in the third clue?
I think it's the new logo with the bird which has the circle surrounding it.
That's not really the new logo. It's the defunct
Is it
logo.
X?
And Twitter or X or the app formerly known as Twitter, right? So the third clue referred to the bird. So this is the original logo, which was mentioned in the first clue, which wasn't really released when the product was launched. It was only there when the product was being worked at with a green shade. And this is the one that Linda created, and this is the one referring to in the third. Right, so that's well done, Siddharth. Plus 12 for getting it right on the second clue. And Ravi, unfortunately, that's a -5 again to you. We'll move on now to our fifth question. Here's question number 5. This is an exhaustive list of 7 connected to a person. I will display it to you in chronological order. But, you know, the 3, 3, and 1 that I will display, it's not like the 3 are connected in any one way. It's just that chronologically, I'm showing you 3 first, and I'll show you 3 more, and then the final one. And it's this exhaustive list of 7 is actually a sub list of some other bigger list, but I don't care about that other bigger list. I'm only looking for this exhaustive list. But if you know what the other bigger list of which this is a subset, it's fine. It's the same thing. But anyway, here's the first 3. 1992, 2003, 2007. On the buzzer, we already have Ravi. Yes, Ravi.
Yeah, this is the books written by Walter Isaacson on the people's, that is Henry Kissinger, Ben Franklin, Einstein, and Elon Musk will be the next, and blah, blah, blah. Steve Jobs, Leonardo da Vinci.
What's my final clue, Ravi?
Elon Musk. Has to be Elon Musk.
From this week. That is correct. On 12th of September. Absolutely. That's well done. So these are all biographies on Henry Kissinger, Benjamin Franklin, Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, Leonardo da Vinci, Jennifer Doudna, Elon Musk. All of these biographies in a larger bibliography of Walter Isaacson, the one on Elon Musk releasing 4-5 days ago. That is correct, Ravi. Well done. You took quite a few negatives, and now you've made a big surge with a big positive on this question, which means you get plus 15. So 15 points to Ravi on this question. Very good. Final one for over number 1. All roads lead to a word. I'm looking for one word answer. In ancient Rome, it was a place in the middle of a town that was used for public business. Right. On the buzzer is Ravi again on the very first clue. Yes, Ravi.
This is Appian Way, which is
incorrect. That's a -5, Ravi. I move on to the next one on the buzzer, and that is Alagar.
This is forum.
Can you say that again, please?
Forum. F-O-U-R-U-M. Forum.
All right. My second clue, from left to right, a company that acquires and scales third-party fulfillment by Amazon. The second one is business. The second one is performance basketball shoe launched in 80s by Adidas. The third one is the third word in this organization whose logo you see here. The fourth one is Mumbai Apple Store's learning and event space with a large video wall. Alagar, what's going to be my last clue? Let's see if you can predict it.
Since it's happening in Bangalore Forum Mall or something like that.
That is correct. That's well done. Absolutely. Brilliant answer there, Alagar. It is indeed Forum. The last clue was, of course, Bengaluru's first full-fledged mall, now renamed, of course. It's called Nexus Mall in Kormangla. Earlier, when it was created in 2004, it was called Forum. That's well done to Alagar. Getting it right on the first clue gets you 15. Ravi, unfortunately, that's a -5 to you. And that's the end of over number 1, exhibiting fine form with the Forum. That's the end of the opening spell and spelling the answer correctly also towards the end while exhibiting a fair amount of courage were the contestants in our first over. Let's keep going. Rest we must not, at least not now, for it is the middle overs and it's time to build a partnership. Just like the kind Cerebration has built with JK Tyre to bring this quiz to you. This round or this over is called partnership. And this over is powered by our presenting partner, JK Tyre. I'll tell you how it works. every participant will now get a direct question. So at least one participant on a question does not need to press the buzzer. So if it's your direct question, you don't have to press the buzzer. You'll have 15 seconds of time for your question. Other participants can hit the buzzer to help you out and partner with you for that question. If you think you know the answer, you can give the answer. But if not, you can seek help of whoever was first on the buzzer to partner with you to give the answer. They'll give their answer. You can accept or reject the answer. You cannot pass after listening to their answer. If you accept it, the answer is correct, both of you get points. If you accept it and the answer is incorrect, both of you lose points. But flip side, if you reject it and the answer was incorrect, then the one who tried to help you out gets a negative. You don't get any negative because you rejected a wrong answer, and question goes to anybody else who's interested on the buzzer. There are 2 more buzzers I will allow. So a total of 4 of you can try and give the answer to a question. If the first one on the buzzer is also wrong, then I move on to the second one on the buzzer. Perhaps they'll get it right for +5 and -5. Clear? So basically, essentially, what I'm trying to do here is playing John Nash's game theory. So this is how game theory is in action. This is how it works. We'll play in order, and the order that we have is the order that we see on screen. So we'll start with Setu first. Setu, we'll begin with you. You don't have to press the buzzer, so please keep your hands visible. And you can keep the phone aside, at least for this question. The others, if you'd like to help out Setu, please press the buzzer. Setu can only take help of whoever is first on the buzzer, okay? Not of anybody else who Setu thinks is handsome or pretty. All right, Setu, please unmute yourself. Setu, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's your question. Others on the buzzer. 15 seconds of time. 2 words. While XY began about 2.4 million years ago and lasted until about 11,500 years ago, every time Ola launches its products, it calls for an end of XY. Unlike the former XY, the X in the latter is actually an acronym that powers those products where it is used. My question is, what is the shared XY? What are the 2 words that I'm looking for? You have help coming from Venki, who's interested in partnering with you.
Yeah, I'll take Venki's help.
Right, Venki, what
Ajay, will it take time to fix?
It's done. It's done. We are just coming back in 30 seconds.
All right. So sorry about that delay, but we're ready to continue. We'll move on to our where were we? We were with on the second question. That's going to be for Ravi. Ravi, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Others, you have to be on the buzzer. Ravi, here's my question for you. Others on the buzzer. This is a screenshot from zgh.com with the subsidiaries of which company that's essentially hidden behind the red box. Ravi, right now, nobody wants to help you out.
Mhm.
unable to begin operations of those 1/3. And then we had COVID, and we all know how the aviation industry suffered. Right. So this question yet again was powered by our presenting partner, JK Tyre. And just one negative there to Alagar, a -5. And now, Alagar, you have a chance to get back those points. Here's a question for you, Alagar, others on the buzzer. This Chinese company, present in India with 2 models, was originally founded in 1995 as an electronics company named after the street where it was based. The founder then added a syllable before its name to get listed earlier alphabetically in trade shows. And when it expanded with cars in the West, it backformed a slogan to fit its 3-letter name. Which company that by some estimates has surpassed even Tesla in EV sales? You have help coming from Setu.
I'll allow him to answer.
Okay, you listen to Setu's answer. Okay, Setu.
This is BYD.
Okay, he says BYD. Alagar, accept or reject?
Accept.
Accept. 3-letter name BYD. Backformed a slogan. What's that slogan, Alagar?
I don't recollect some, but BYD, I remember, is the right answer.
Okay, so what are the 2 models of BYD?
No.
Okay, let's have Setu answering all of that.
Okay, I don't know the models, but BYD stands for Build Your Dreams. So
Build Your Dreams is what they backform to fit its 3-letter name. The 2 models are Atto 3 and E6. That is correct. That's well done there, Setu. And why I said that by some estimates has surpassed Tesla in EV sales, because a lot of people still question what exactly is an EV, right? So there's no clear definition, strict definition of what is EV. Can it be partly hybrid? Can it be entirely electric and all of that? So those questions are still ongoing. Perhaps we'll arrive at a standard in due course, not for now. It is Build Your Dreams. That is correct, Setu. Well done. 10 points to you, and well done, Alagar, on accepting it. That's 5 points to you. So BYD was originally called Yadi Electronics, and they just added BI before it, so it became BRD Electronics, just so that alphabetically they placed earlier. So they were on some Yadi street or something like that. Anyway, this question also was powered by our presenting partner, JK Tyre. As we move on to our final question now for this round, that's going to go to Venki. Venki, are you ready?
Yeah.
I would request you to keep your phone aside.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Others on the buzzer. Here's my question to Venki. When asked about the launch of Triumph's 400cc bikes in July, this is how Rajiv Bajaj responded. There was a famous bank robber in America. When asked, why do you rob a bank? He said, that's something. Just fill in the blank here. I've redacted that statement. So if Royal Enfield is blank, it's few words, Venki. Even if you write on generic sense, I'll be fine with it. So he said, if Royal Enfield is blank, then we have no choice but to rob that bank. What has been redacted here, highlighting Mr. Bajaj's intention of reaching out to the high-end segment? You have help coming from Ravi.
Okay, I'll listen to him.
Okay. So in the vicinity of the answer, even if you can't give me the exact words, I will be okay with that. Ravi, what's your answer?
I'll say, okay, that is necessity.
He said that is?
Necessity.
That is necessity. Okay. Venki, he said that is necessity. Accept or reject?
Reject.
Reject. You will reject well, because I was wrong. So that's a -5, Ravi. I'll take the question to the next one on the buzzer. That's Swastika.
Okay, 1 second.
Swastika, I need an answer.
One question. The context in which Ravi was answering, was it correct? He answered it as in word. I did not.
Please give me your answer,
Okay.
Swastika.
I guess he's talking about the relaunch of that, old bike from that ad, Buland Bharat ki.
All right. That is incorrect. That is incorrect, Swastika. I'll pass the question finally to Alagar. Alagar, no answer. You hit the buzzer.
Okay. You said that's imperative. It's unavoidable. That's unavoidable.
Unavoidable. Okay. No. So not necessity, not sort of nostalgia or addressing something in the past, an earlier product, and not imperative is what Alagar said, or logical. That's all of those answers are incorrect. Anybody else wants to just take a second guess? So minus 5 to Ravi, minus 5 to Alagar, minus 5 to Swastika.
The
Yes.
non-comp I'll try. I'll say something equivalent to status symbol type thing, right? You get 15 minutes of fame, status symbol, something like that.
Not status symbol. So why do you rob a bank? Status symbol. No, right? That doesn't make sense.
I mean, because you
or maybe
become,
it does.
because you
Robbers, it
become,
does. I don't know. I haven't
yeah.
talked yet.
I mean, maybe you become famous because you rob a bank. You hit the headlines. It's something like that.
Okay. No, not in that direction.
Could it be
The
something
answer
like
that I was looking for is why do you rob a bank? This was William Francis Sutton who said that's where the money is. So you follow the money trail. So which is why Bajaj has now entered into higher end segment because that's where the money is, right? So that's the logic. That's the answer that I was looking for. Minus 5 to 3 of you, Alagar, Ravi, and Swastika. So that is the kind of partnership that one likes to see in the middle overs that we saw quite a few times in this round, powered by JK Tyre as well. We will take a look at the scores now, but that's on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
It's time to break free. Break away from the routine. To the greens. And get lost in the world within. To steer through, to stop. Start again. Go forth. Shed your inhibitions and just let it all go. With JK Tyre's Ranger 80, made of tough, made for adventure. For the ones who are wild at heart. JK Tyre, total control.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform. I will outrank. I will achieve. I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
20 years of celebration. So, and I mean, this edition that we're celebrating is 20 years of celebration, but the question's not going to be from there. It's going to be 20 years of something else. What is that? Setu, you'll have to unmute. Here's your question, Setu. Others on the buzzer. Which autumn drink that observed its 20-year anniversary last month, when it was being brainstormed at the Liquid Lab, defeated chocolate, caramel, and even orange, and rated high on uniqueness? So rooted is the drink in the minds of its fans that a temporary shortage of formerly misnamed drinks ingredients leads to the declaration of an emergency online. Which autumn drink? Five seconds, Setu. Your time's up, Setu. I'll take the question to the bowler. That's Siddharth. Siddharth, do you have an answer?
I'll say this is the pumpkin spice latte by Starbucks.
This is the pumpkin spice latte by Starbucks. That is absolutely perfect. Indeed, it is, Siddharth. That's well done. 5 points to you, Siddharth. So we have even Stevens here on this one. That's 5 points to Siddharth, and to Setu, that is a -5. Right, so -5 Setu, 5 points Siddharth. All right, we move on to match number 2. That's going to be Venki and Alagar. Alagar, please pick a bowling option for Venki.
19th century engineering.
19th century engineering. Venki, you'll have to unmute.
Yep.
And Venki, are you okay with 19th century engineering?
I don't have a choice. So
Not like you have an option.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. Okay, let's have another right answer from you, perhaps. Okay, here's your question, Venki. Others on the buzzer. A centrifuge machine is a machine that rapidly rotates its containments, applying centrifugal force. It now has uses in many industries, like in uranium enrichment, sugar industry for separating sugar crystals, and so on. And its most famous usage is the spin drying of laundry. However, it was invented in the 1860s by a German brewer for a process called demulsification, or what common English phrase that now means to find the best in class. So this is the etymology of what common English phrase essentially. Or you can answer it from the side of engineering. Either way.
I'll take a guess and say separate the wheat from the chaff.
Separate the wheat from the chaff. That is incorrect. Passes to Alagar. Alagar, I need an answer.
Okay. Can I pass?
You can.
Okay, I'll pass it.
You'll pass. All right. Swastika, too late on the buzzer, so I won't let you answer for points, but you can still try, not for points.
Churning?
Say that again.
Churning. Churn.
I mean, centrifuging is essentially a churning process. But what exactly was being churned? Or churning doesn't really mean finding the best in class, if we answer from the point of view from English language. Okay. So no negatives there, Swastika, but that was wrong. Anybody else wants to take a shot?
Something layer or something?
Beer.
Nothing about beer. No? Okay, I'll close it. The answer that I was looking for is separating cream from milk. That was the original purpose of the centrifuging machine. And that is what, loosely what you say for finding the best in class. Although what Venki answered is also a term for that, but not in this case. That's not the engineering use for centrifuging. All right, so this question is powered by our partner, Parker Pen, by Luxor Group. And unfortunately, we didn't get any right answers, but no points were lost either. So we'll go to the second inning of this match, and Venki now picks one for Alagar.
I'll pick.
Hold on. Yeah. Swastika, you have something to say?
Me and Rabi. Okay.
You'll make it.
My bad. My bad.
After this.
Okay, yeah.
New things to tax.
New things to tax. Okay, Alagar. who looks very happy about this. Oh, he's from the financial services industry, so perhaps we'll see. Okay, Alagar, here's your question. A recent study by MIT scrutinizes the existing evidence and suggests the optimal policy to tax it, but only a modest one. The same applies to taxes on foreign trade, which would also reduce American jobs. A tax on what? That has found favor with the likes of Bill Gates and Mark Cuban and has been implemented by South Korea. So it's a tax that is already there in South Korea. EU actually considered it. They had a voting, but they rejected it in the vote. What am I speaking of? New things to tax. Alagar, I need an answer now. Okay.
Is it brain drain?
Okay, brain drain. Anyway, I'll pass it to Venki.
So if I give a wrong answer, there's a neg, is it?
Only if person on the buzzer, that swastika, gets it right.
Otherwise, I can guess, right?
You can guess.
I will say frequent flyer miles.
Is incorrect. So I'll take the question now to Swastika. Yes, Swastika.
I guess it's the tax on single people, unmarried.
Tax on bachelors or
Yeah,
unmarried people.
bachelors. Yeah.
Okay, that is incorrect, Swastika, thankfully. Right, so that's a -5.
I read that somewhere. I know, it sounds so funny.
That exists, but that's not something that has been addressed in this question.
Oh.
Okay, so that's a -5, Swastika. Nothing to Alagar, nothing to Venki. The answer that I was looking for was robots or automation or AI. So taking away American jobs, right? Robots, automation, that's what I was looking for. So that's something that's found favor with the likes of these billionaires. And South Korea has already started taxing companies that use robots in manufacturing of products. So -5, Swastika, nothing to anybody else. We'll move on to our final group and the final match that will be between Rabi and Swastika. Swastika, you get to pick a topic for Rabi. Rabi, please unmute.
Can you clear the buzzers?
Yeah, I am.
S&P 500 CEOs.
Can I have that again, Swastika?
S&P 500 CEOs.
S&P 500 CEOs. Okay, here's your question, Rabi, from S&P 500 CEOs. In 2015, there were more Johns or Jonathans as CEOs of S&P 500 companies than X. However, in 2023, that number has significantly reversed with 41 X's as CEOs of S&P 500 companies, equal to the number of James and Johns. Give me X. Rabi, 2 seconds. Rabi, your time's up.
Yeah.
I'll take the question to Swastika. Swastika, do you have an answer?
X is a first name, right?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, Bill.
Bill. Okay, that's not Bill. That's not the answer. Nobody on the buzzer. Anybody just wants to take a guess?
Richard or Dick?
Okay, let me give you a hint. Don't guess names. So that is why I did not answer Swastika's question. Don't guess names. No? Okay. I'll close it. And it was very interesting that Swastika picked it. The answer is Venki?
Women. Just women, female first name.
It's correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. So this is females. Now there are more female CEOs than ever in S&P 500. Earlier it was just 3 names that were more than women, but now women are way more. Right. So no points to anyone. Yeah, no points to anyone. But this question was powered by our partner Gray On. So thanks to them. And we move on to our final question. That's going to be picked by Rabi for Swastika.
Brand packaging.
Brand packaging?
Yes.
Is that what you said, Rabi?
Yeah.
Okay. Brand packaging. Here's your question, Swastika. a 2019 policy in Mexico required companies that make unhealthy foods to include warning labels on the front of any boxes that sell to educate consumers about things like excess sugar and fat. So companies replaced sugar with allulose to avoid the label and lobby to not classify allulose as sugar. But that didn't work out either. So what design trick did they allegedly implement to reduce the eyeballs towards warning labels?
I have to answer before the time ends or after?
Yes, please. Yes, Swastika.
I guess a change in color of the text to a duller
Change in color of the text.
To a
That
duller
is
color.
incorrect. Okay. That's wrong. I'll take the question to Ravi.
Did anybody press buzzer?
Yes.
Siddharth. Ajay, is it Siddharth?
Ravi, you focus on the answer, but yes, it is Siddharth.
Okay, pass. I will pass.
Okay, Siddharth.
So I'll say they use the typeface of the brand logo to use in the warning as well. So basically a Coca-Cola warning would have it in the Coca-Cola typeface.
Interesting idea for any marketer listening to this, but that's wrong in this case, Siddharth. That's a -5. And question goes to Venki.
Oh, I can also attempt, right?
Yes, Venki, give me an answer.
I will say like a Droste effect trick, which is like a picture within the picture within the picture. So like the actual warning actually gets like kind of obfuscated in a way.
Right, I'm afraid that's wrong. So that's a -5 Venki, -5 Siddharth, nothing to Ravi, nothing to Swastika, because both the participants on the buzzer got it wrong. The answer that I was looking for is they essentially had the front and back look the same. So when the sales staff was stacking the products in the, wherever they were supposed to stack, they didn't know which side to put in front. So sometimes whichever side the warning label was, that was on the back, and the shoppers couldn't see it. So which is why they implemented this design trick to sort of trick the shoppers and even the sales staff to place the products in such a way that they don't know where's the front, where's the back side. Right. Unfortunately, a couple of you getting a negative. That's Venki and Siddharth. And that's about it. That brings us to the end of this round as well. And seems to me that this is shaping up to be a final over thriller, but you don't have to take my word for it. We will see it on the scoreboard, but that's on the other side of this break. We'll be back shortly.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tyre, buddy.
JK Smart Tyre, the tyre with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tyre.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform, I will outrank, I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
Time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back to the final push of the pedal to the metal. The scoreboard tells us the contestants are bunched uncomfortably close or distant at the moment, depending on who you're rooting for, or even if you are one of the participants. At this point, we still have Siddharth leading with a score of 29, but not far behind is Setu with a score of 23. And then some distance away, we have both Alagar and Venki at a score of 5 apiece. And then is Rabi at 0, and Swastika has fallen further behind on -20. As we move on to our next one, here's where the best and the rest, or as we just learned in our previous round, cream from the milk will be separated in our final over. It's time to change gears. This is the super over. In the super over, you have 6 questions in all of them on the buzzer. 15 seconds of time is what you get per question. All 6 of you can hit the buzzer. Now, very interestingly, every question has 2 answers, a kangaroo and a joey. But please note, the joey can have the order shuffled. It does not necessarily have to be in the order in which it exists in kangaroo. It can have the order jumbled up. When you try to give an answer, before you actually give an answer, please tell me either you're playing super or you're playing safe. If you happen to not say the word super, I will by default assume that you're playing safe, and I will only let you give one answer. You can decide which of the 2 answers you want to give, whether you want to give kangaroo or you want to give the joey answer. But if you're playing super, please attempt both answers. Now for points, if you play super and you're correct with both, you get 15. If you play super and incorrect with both, you get a -5 and a -5, so that's a -10. If you're playing super and you get only one correct, it's a +5. But if you play safe and you're correct with that, you get a +10. And when you're playing safe, you can answer any of the 2. You don't have to answer, the first one or the second one. Whichever you're confident about, you can give that as an answer. And if you're playing safe and you get that wrong, you get a -5. And once when I have one of the 2 answers already with me, then whoever's next on the buzzer, they can try for +5 and -5. But if both answers are available, then you can also play super. That's all right. Okay, so good luck. 15 into 6, so 90 points still available. And as we saw, it's 29, 23, and the last participant is on -20, so it still is anybody's game. Good luck, all of you. There won't be any eliminations, so we'll have all 6 of you playing till the very end. But if you really have no chance to qualify further, I'll appreciate if you decide against hitting the buzzer on the last question. All right. So we'll move on to our first of 6 balls in this super over. 2 answers I'm looking for. Here's number 1, kangaroo and joey. X is a man-made product. Y is a natural element. Known for its adult entertainment studios, XZ is a nickname for San Fernando in California. And on the other side, YZ is a bank that collapsed this year due to Fed's policies. Its assets were acquired by the bank that you see in the picture. On the buzzer first is Alagar. Yes, Alagar. You're muted, Alagar, you're muted.
I'll play safe and go for the first one. So I think I'll play safe and I'll go for the first one, only one.
Which is XZ or YZ? Which one are you answering?
X.
X, okay, XZ. What's your answer?
This is Silicon Valley.
XZ is?
Silicon Valley.
Okay, you want to spell it for me?
SILICONE, Silicon Valley.
Okay, and you played safe. That is correct. So that's 10 points to Alagar. I move on to the next one on the buzzer, and that is Rabi. Rabi, only YZ is available. If you had XZ in mind, then we can
No,
move
I
on to
have
the next one.
XZ. Okay, so
So we'll move on. Okay, we'll move on. So we'll go to Venki. Venki?
I will just say...
YZ is available if you want to try. Otherwise, we can move on.
I'll say Silicon Valley Bank. SILICON.
Is correct. That is the answer, Rabi. And that is Alagar. When you got the more difficult one, I would argue, which is Silicon Valley, right? I'll just go back to the question.
No,
Known
so the
for its
question
adult
Foxstars.
entertainment studios, and I would argue that was the more difficult one. When you got that, it was a piece of cake to get the other one, but you decided against it. So Alagar, that's a +10 nevertheless. And Rabi could have waited a moment, thought about it. I'm sure you knew this one. No points to you, Rabi, but well done, Venki, for grabbing on that 5-pointer that was available. So 5 points, Venki, 10 points, Alagar. All right. We'll move on to our question number 2. Group PSA is now in its 4th stint in India with Citroën. The 3rd time they were here was with PAL Peugeot 309 in the 90s. The 2nd time in mid-80s to make mopeds with Sri Chamunda Motors. And the 1st time was in the early 80s with a plant in Punjab in a tie-up with X. Dating back to ancient Greece, Y is a shortened version of a Y girdle. Y went out of fashion when women were asked not to wear it so that the metal could be used for war weapon production. X and Y. We'll play with Rabi first. Rabi, what are you doing? Rabi, please unmute.
I'll play with X.
You're only answering, you're playing safe?
Safe, yeah.
Okay, X is?
Sonalika.
Is incorrect. So that's a -5, Rabi. Question goes to Siddharth.
I'll
Both
say
available. You can play super.
No, I'll play safe. And,
okay.
And I'll go copper for Y.
You'll take Y and you'll say copper. That is incorrect. That's a -5, Siddharth. Question goes to Setu. Super still available.
I'll play safe and say X with would be CK Birla.
Is incorrect. Setu, that's a -5. Question now goes to Venki. Super still available.
Oh, I'm still in the line. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was done. Okay. I'll play safe and say Y is corset.
You'll play safe and you'll say Y is corset. There is nobody else after you, and I will close this. That's 10 points to you, Venki. It is corset. And the kangaroo here was escorts. Group PSA is in its 4th stint with Citroën, right? The first time they were here with a plant in Punjab in a tie-up with escorts. So escorts and corset. That's well done, Venki. 10 points nevertheless. And you've benefited greatly in this question because 3 others have taken negatives. So that's Rabi with a -5, Siddharth with a -5, and Setu with a -5. All right. We'll move on to number 3. Inventor of PostScript, X was formerly the principal scientist at Xerox. He died last month. 7-letter surname. In 1770s Britain, Y founded an eponymous company that is now known as Wilkinson Sword, a 4-letter surname. On the buzzer first is Ravi. Ravi, I need an answer.
Yeah, I will go for the safe. I will go for the 7
You'll
letter.
play safe.
Yeah,
And you were
7.
answering X or Y?
This is Dustin something. Sorry.
Which one are you answering, X or
I'm
Y?
I'm answering X.
X is
Dustin. No, I
Dustin.
know.
That is incorrect, Ravi. That's a -5. I'll take the question to Setu.
I'll play super.
You'll play super. All right.
Yeah. X is John Warnock, and Wilkinson sword was found as Knock, Henry Knock. So John Warnock and Knock.
Is perfect. Absolutely, Setu. That's brilliant. It is John Warnock who founded PDF and died last month. And that is Henry Knock. It was originally found as Knock, Jover and Co. And now it's known as Wilkinson's Ford. I think it was the son-in-law who named it after himself and became Wilkinson. That's well done there, Setu. Absolutely superbly played, super. So that's 15 points, Setu, -5, Ravi. With 3 questions to. All right, here's question number 4. For the first time, a pure electric car is at the top of global sales rankings in a quarter. At the end of Q1 2023, the Tesla Model Y was sold 267,200 times, riding on the back of success in China. That's about an increase of 69% from the same period last year. The next 4 spots in the list are all taken by brands from X. And on the other side, in 2019, Airbnb announced buying about 1.3% stake in Y, but the announcement was made on April Fool's Day. So not many took their investment in a competitor seriously. However, it is believed that Airbnb was more keen on Y's logistics and tech infrastructure. On the buzzer first is Ravi. Ravi, what are you playing? Super or safe?
I'm playing with safe.
You're playing safe. Okay.
Yeah. I'll
and
go
what are you
for
answering, X or Y?
I'll go for X.
X is
Germany.
Germany. That is incorrect. That's a -5, Ravi. Brands from X. Ravi answers Germany. That's wrong. I'll take the question now to the next one on the buzzer, and that is Venki with super available.
Playing super?
Yes, Venki, go for it.
Toyota and Oyo.
Toyota as the next 4 spots. And Airbnb bought a 1% stake in a competitor. 3 letters. You say Oyo is perfect. Absolutely. That's the answer. That's very well played there, Venki. That's a +15 with Toyota and Oyo. Absolutely. And yet again, Ravi, really, this one's not working out for you for now. That's a -5 again, Ravi, but a +15 to Venki. 2 questions remain. Here's question number 5. X received Indonesia's first visa that allows foreigners who make substantial investments in the country to remain for between 5 and 10 years. He co-founded a location sharing service in 2005, was preceded by Paul Graham and succeeded by Geoff Ralston as president of Y Combinator. He was also the CEO of Reddit for just 8 days. And on the other side, Schengen, Luxembourg, Brady, Latin America, Arirang and Kimchi, South Korea, Baklava, Turkey, Panda, China, Formosa, Taiwan, Dim Sum, Hong Kong, Samurai and Uridashi is Japan, Yankee is US, and Y for India. On the buzzer first is Swastika. What are you playing, super or safe?
I'm not getting the name at the moment. Wait.
Quick, Swastika, you're on the buzzer.
It's Sam Altman. OpenAI CEO is the first X.
Okay. That is correct. That's 10 points, Swastika. I'll move on to Alagar.
I can play super or?
No, that is already correct.
Okay.
So only Y is left.
Okay. So masala.
Your answer is masala. And Swastika said Sam Altman. That is a combined correct answer that I was looking for. It is masala bonds. Essentially, so the first one is Sam Altman. And the second one was masala bonds for India. Brady is named after US Treasury Secretary Nicholas Brady, who actually proposed a debt reduction agreement to developing countries in Latin America. These are all bonds issued outside a country but denominated in their country's currency. So for India, it is masala bonds. And this question is powered by our partner, BSE. So that's 10 points to Swastika and 5 points to Alagar.
So before we go to the last question,
Can we please
give
have
the
scores?
points?
Yeah.
Everybody's keen on scores.
I mean, how will we know
Which means, okay, fine. I'll just tell you what the scores are. I'll request the console to share the scores with me privately. But if you're checking the scores, then if there is anybody who's mathematically impossible to qualify and reach the final, I will have to ask you to not hit the buzzer. But if you do decide to hit the buzzer, I will ignore you and move on to the next one. So just give me a moment. I'll just check with the console and confirm. So scores right now, Setu, you're on 33. Rabi, you're on minus 15, which automatically means, Rabi, I'll have to request you to not play the last one.
I'm not playing today.
Okay. Swastika, you're on minus 10, so I'll have to ask you to not play the last one, Swastika. Siddharth, you are now on 24. And you can play, of course. Algar Sami, you are on 20, but leading just by 2 points right now is Venki with a score of 35. So I repeat, Venki on 35, Setu on 33, Siddharth on 24, Algar on 20. Clear, everyone? Okay. Last question. So essentially, if Siddharth and Alagar, if you want to win this and qualify and play in the final in Mumbai, you'll have to take super on the last one. But of course, Venki and Setu will fight for that to not happen. We'll see. All right, final question here at the Bengaluru regional round. Originally founded as CBS, X was spun out in 1970 and for 15 years since 1976 had this logo. Founded as Flight Raja in 2006 since 2017, Y is a subsidiary of Ebix. On the buzzer is Setu.
I'll play
super, are
safe.
you playing safe?
I'll play safe, and I'll say this is Viacom. So this is Viacom's old X.
X, you say, is Viacom?
Yeah.
That is correct. So that's 10 points, Setu. Next on the buzzer is Venki.
Yeah, I'll say Y is Via or Via.com.
So Viacom and Via.com, that is the combined set. That is indeed correct. So that's 10 points, Setu, and 5 points to Venki. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is end of day's play. Was there a last-minute twitch or twist at the top of the table, or did Venki stay atop and do what winners do best? That is, just stay on top. We'll find out on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
It's time to break free. Break away from the routine. To the greens. And get lost in the world within. To steer through. To stop. Start again. Go forth. Shed your inhibitions and just let it all go. With JK Tyre's Ranger 80, made of tough, made for adventure. For the ones who are wild at heart. JK Tyre, total control.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform. I will outrank. I will achieve. I will fly high.
the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
Change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back to what has been a delightful start to the season, absolutely thrilling from the scratch to the finish. And allow me to do some navel gazing here and take some credit for all the pep talk that I did when I introduced our eventual winner for the Bengaluru regional round. I told you that he was 6th in 2021, 3rd in 2022, and his graph looks certain for up and to the right, sending a tell-all teaser to the other national final hopefuls with what was a heart-and-mouth display exhibited by our winner at Bengaluru from Cap Gemini with a score of 43 points is Setu Madhavan. And in second place, falling short by an infinitesimal yet significant stretch of just 3 points, even with that last answer, is Venkatesh Srinivasan from Nexus Consulting, who would be regretting those coulda, woulda, shoulda moments earlier. And of course, well done for making it to the regional final. The rest of you, hope you had a fun one. Looking forward to seeing you at the next year's edition. Thank you, of course, to our viewers and partners. Presenting partner, JK Tyre. It's brought to you in association with BSE Associate Partner, SBI, Grayon, and Parker Pen by Luxor Group, and TV partner, NewsX. From the team here at the Hindu Business Line Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2023, this is your Quizmaster Ajay Punia signing off. It's goodbye for now.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tyre, buddy.
JK Smart Tyre, the tyre with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tyre.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform, I will outrank, I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
The Lux Life. The lip on the glass. The journeys you make. The roads you take. Beyond the rest. Above the best. You float above. Levitas Ultra from JK Tyre, made for dream machines.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.